For 6 years, I used the same tech stack to build every project. VS Code, Firebase, Vue.js, it worked. Two things happened that changed kind of everything. I got a Firebase build that made me actually kind of angry, and this year AI is now on the same level as me as a developer. AI was able to write code in the same way I would do it, just way faster. I don't really like to do videos about tech stack, but I think this one is kind of interesting because AI helped me to do things that I was kind of lazy to tackle in a good way. So I rebuilt my tech stack and I can now ship features way faster. Not just features, I mean I can ship entire products way faster than I ever could before. My tech stack is actually pretty simple. I made a video about it, but to keep it short, I used VS Code, Firebase for the backend, Vue for the frontend, and Lemon Squeezy for payments. And it worked. I built multiple different projects like Resume, 7 to-dos, and my AI headshots. I shipped those products, I got users, people paid me for the service. 7 to-dos is a project where I got a lot of early adopters, but right now it's kind of stale. The backend is hosted on Firebase and I'm getting a bill of $100 per month for a project which is not really doing anything crazy in the backend. Sure, we are storing information about the tasks, the workspaces, etc. But all in all, it's not a complex project. I think like 90% of the time, Firebase is a great option. It helps you to kickstart your entire project. You don't need to pay attention to authentication, to your database, to cloud functions. Everything is handled by them. But if your project is not doing a lot and you have just a few functions that are running in the background, it's way too expensive to keep it just running. For a project like 7 to-dos, this is too much to justify the price. And it wasn't really just the cost. Every time I wanted to add a new feature or update a function, it took like 8 minutes to update the backend. And really, like every little feature costs extra money, like having queries, you need to pay more, need real-time updates, different pricing. Want to export your data easily? I have no idea how you can even do that there. Serverless has made my life a lot easier, but at a certain point I can't justify the price for the value I get. So I made the call, I'm ditching Firebase. Okay, I'm not ditching it entirely, I'm ditching the part that was costing me the most, the functions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Custom servers, you need DevOps experience, you need to spend weeks just to move everything over. But here's the secret. AI can write the backend code for me now. Actually, I already have all the backend functions. I only need to port it in a way that I can use it on a custom server. It took a couple of attempts to get everything right, but after like 2 hours, I was able to deploy my functions to my custom server. Is it perfect? No, not yet. Did I have to fix a few things? Yes, obviously. But the heavy lifting is done. What I really liked about this approach is that I've moved the most expensive part of my Firebase setup to a custom server, but the database and the authentication are still happening on Firebase because they are not really that expensive. And what's also great about a custom server is that I can run different projects on a single server. I don't need to spend another $10 or whatever on another server. I can just use the same one for multiple projects. And I am saving like 90% of the bill I was paying before. So instead of paying like $100 for kind of stale project, I moved it to a custom server and I'm now just paying like $5 to $10 per month. Turns out I was just a bit afraid to run my own custom server, but with the help of AI, it's not as complicated as I thought it would be. 80 to maybe 90% of the code was written by AI and I really just had to fix the last few pieces. Speaking of custom server, here's a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Cloudways, the hosting platform that I'm currently using to host my application Fremio. The cool thing about Cloudways is you get the flexibility of a cloud hosting provider, but without the headaches of DevOps. So I can just SSH into my server and upload my project manually. So you can see I've already created my server here, and all I really have to do now is go to my project Premiere and run npm run build. Now we have built our project, and all we really have to do now is run this one command. This will push everything we have in our dist folder to Cloudways. To get your password, we can go to our server and under master credentials, we can use our password, enter it in here, and then we will start to upload our project. And once it's done, we can go back to our server, click on restart. And once the server has restarted, we can go to applications and then click on the button here to see Fremia running on Cloudways. And yeah, if you're building anything with Vue or React, you can use Cloudways to host your project online. I've added a link in the description below if you want to check out Cloudways and support the channel. And then there's coding itself. I've been using VS Code for 6 years, and honestly, I don't have any real issue with it. And it's really a great editor, but I was still writing every single line of code manually. I wanted a new endpoint, that took like 30 minutes. I wanted a new component, another hour is gone. Testing, that's a whole different story I don't want to talk about here. I was spending more time writing boilerplates than actually building features that user wanted. And if I want to hit 10k MMR, I need to move way faster. For 6 years I used VS Code, I loved it, but then I tried Cursor, then Cloud Code, and even Grok. And my entire approach to building software changed. Let me show you what this actually looks like. At the start of the year, I built an entire game with AI. I had no idea how to use 3JS, I have no idea how to do 3D games, but with the help of Cursor and Cloud Code, I was able to build this game. Not just this game, I was even able to build it as a mobile app. You can actually download the game from the App Store and play it yourself. This is something I wouldn't be able to do without AI, because I have no idea how 3JS works. Or let's put it the other way, I would spend weeks, months to figure out how it works and how to build a game like this. Shortly after that, I tried to build an entire product out of it. Premiere is a tool I built for myself to create YouTube thumbnails, but it's also a problem a lot of people face. Creating a good thumbnail takes a lot of time, you need design skills. That was the motivation behind the product, but I wanted to see if I can do this with AI. I think it took me like 1 or 2 weeks to get the product to this stage. It's really insane how far we got with AI coding. AI coding used to be tedious, slow, and error prone, I guess. But this year we made a pretty huge leap. It really became like having multiple devs on your team working on the same project. And it's just getting better and better. Oh, I also switched everything to TypeScript for Premiere. Not that I love types, I really don't, but AI is way better at catching errors with TypeScript. So every time I write new code with AI, it's really simple to see if the types are correct. And if they are not, AI can figure it out pretty early and change the code to fix the bug. So a lot of the errors that come with AI coding, they still happen, but AI can now use TypeScript to figure out what is causing the problem and figure out the solution on its own. So some errors that would have taken like 30 minutes for me to figure out what happened is now most of the time prevented. I personally am not a huge fan of TypeScript, but for AI coding it's kind of amazing. Because one of the biggest pain points when it comes to AI coding is to deal with the errors that happen along the way. So instead of spending like 20 minutes to figure out what the AI did wrong, we can now focus more on building the product. So not everything has changed. I'm still using Vue for my old projects, and also for payment providers I'm still using Lemon Squeezy and Paddle. They work, they're great, I don't need to change them. But the way I build those projects has completely changed. I'm shipping like 3 to 4 times faster than I was before, and that matters quite a lot when I want to hit my goal of 10k MMR for my project. The faster I can ship features, test ideas, and respond to user feedback, the faster I can grow. Look, I'm not saying you need to copy my exact tech stack. Firebase is still a great option, I'm still using it. And VS Code has been my code editor for 6 years. It's a great product. I mean, Cursor is even a fork of VS Code. But here's what I learned. The tools I have used 2 years ago might not be the tools I need for today's world. If you are a solo dev and want to build a real business, you can't really afford to waste time on expensive infrastructure or writing boilerplates manually. Really, let AI do the boring stuff so you can focus on the things that matter, like talking to customers, building features they want, and growing your business. Cursor has released a big new version. Maybe I will cover that in the next video. That's it from my side. See you in the next one. Bye.